King's Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg are about to enter one of the biggest competitive theme park wars we've ever seen. The theme park market in Virginia is heating up like never before. We're about to see some of the largest improvements to two of America's best amusement parks. Get ready though, because you may think Busch Gardens has the upper hand, but it's a lot more complicated than that. When I first started making this video going into details about the future of these two parks, I didn't realize how crazy the competition truly could get this next decade, and you wouldn't believe what effect Six Flags merging with Cedar has on this entire situation. King's Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg have been in competition for decades, but this next decade may be the most important one yet for the two parks, and I think both parks will be in a fierce fight for the #1 park in Virginia for a long time. For starters, I want to discuss the current Virginia theme park climate. Busch Gardens Williamsburg and King's Dominion have been in fierce competition for decades, as the parks are just 45 minutes away from each other. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is clearly the better park today across the board. Though both Busch Gardens and King's Dominion have very good coaster lineups, Busch Gardens is much more well-rounded in the coaster area. Busch Gardens is also more well-kept, and the theming and landscaping at the park far outweighs what can be found at King's Dominion. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is one of the most beautiful parks in the world and has some of the best theming you can find anywhere in the US. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is a truly elite park when it comes to theming, and King's Dominion really doesn't compare in that area. In recent years, Busch Gardens has also been investing heavily into new roller coasters, and King's Dominion has been slowly falling behind. This is slowly changing though, and the future of these two parks are headed in a very different direction. In 2022, King's Dominion opened a brand new themed area together with a small-scale thrill coaster, while Busch Gardens opened one of the best coasters in the country. King's Dominion got a mini S&S 4D free spin, while Busch Gardens got Pantheon, one of the best intimate multi-launch coasters to ever open. Busch Gardens clearly has the upper hand when it comes to recent coaster additions, but when you factor in other things, you slowly start to see a different picture. King's Dominion's new 2022 coaster came along with a brand new, highly themed area of the park, an area that may just be the best themed area at any Cedar Fair park in the country. Busch Gardens' 2022 roller coaster, on the other hand, came along with very minimal theming in what may be one of the worst themed coasters at a Busch Gardens park. Busch Gardens is definitely the better park today, especially in the theming area, and it would take a lot of work on King's Dominion's side to catch up. But it seems King's Dominion was already getting ready for war under Cedar Fair. Busch Gardens is not going down without a fight though. Now that the Cedar Fair and Six Flags chains have merged, King's Dominion is in the same chain as Six Flags America. Now you might be wondering what Six Flags America has to do with the Virginia Coastal Wars, but you'd be surprised. Before I explain the huge effect Six Flags America has on the Virginia theme park market, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. I really want to reach 3,000 subscribers, and we're getting very close. I also just launched membership on the channel for some of you that may want to access some member-only videos. I truly appreciate every single person who watches this channel, and I will always be grateful to you all for watching my videos. I'll still upload my regular content publicly on the channel, but if you're interested in even more in-depth videos on topics I often am not able to cover in a regular video, then you'll definitely want to become a member to get access to the member-only videos and a ton of other perks. Thank you to every one of you who watch my videos on this channel. Now let's get back to Six Flags America. Six Flags America is a really interesting park in the sense that Six Flags never really invested anything into it. Six Flags America is in an area of the country where there are some of the largest population centers just near the park. If Six Flags built up Six Flags America, it could potentially be just as successful as Six Flags Great Adventure, which is one of the most successful parks in the chain. Six Flags America has such large population centers surrounding it that if Six Flags just built it up to a mid-tier park, it could instantly become one of their most profitable. I honestly don't know why Six Flags never tried to give this park the love it deserves. It could just be that Six Flags has been in so much financial trouble for so long that they never had the funds to build up another park, and they had to focus on their other already built parks to keep those successful. Whatever the reason, I think Six Flags was finally getting ready to build up this park into one of the best parks in the area. The new park president also seems like someone who could really do a good job running the park, and he would be the perfect person to help set this park on the right path. Now that Six Flags and Cedar Fair merged though, I think everything changes, and that's what this all has to do with Kings Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Kings Dominion was already slowly getting built into a major park under Cedar Fair, and it seemed Cedar Fair was planning on investing in high quality, expensive, reliable, well-themed attractions for the park every 5 years or so. Now that Six Flags is involved with this park, I think this will only accelerate Kings Dominion's plan. Being that Six Flags America is just 2 hours away from Kings Dominion, many people predicted it being one of the first parks to get sold off, but I disagree with that. I think Six Flags America can actually help Kings Dominion a lot more than anyone realizes. If done correctly, Six Flags could use the fact that these two parks are right next to each other to sell two park tickets or season passes that work for both parks. Seaworld does this in Florida with Busch Gardens Tampa and Seaworld Orlando, and it works out very well for them. So maybe Six Flags could pull off something like this as well. This would be a great move in my opinion, and it could lead to these two parks seeing massive success in the region. Six Flags could build up Kings Dominion into a top tier park that successfully competes with Busch Gardens, and then build up Six Flags America into a solid mid-tier park. Then they could try to attract the population centers around Six Flags America to purchase that two-park pass, thereby getting them to go to Kings Dominion instead of Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This is what I think the most likely option is for the future of these parks. Now, instead of Kings Dominion having to fight with Busch Gardens with every person it brings through the front door, they'll be getting an influx of people that will simply choose Kings Dominion because it's more convenient. People like getting one pass or ticket that works for everything they want to do, and many of the people going to Six Flags America will very likely choose to opt for the discounted Kings Dominion ticket that comes with their pass instead of paying a full price for Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This could give Kings Dominion a significant attendance boost, and if the park continues competing with Busch Gardens, they could end up being more successful than Busch Gardens without having to invest insane amounts of money to become the better park. Obviously, Kings Dominion will have to be at least almost as good as Busch Gardens for people to choose it as their ideal park to visit, but attracting guests from Maryland in the area Six Flags America is to come to Kings Dominion instead of Busch Gardens definitely makes it a little easier for Kings Dominion to become even more successful. What's interesting here though is that it seems both Virginia parks are destined for greatness. It's all but confirmed that Seaworld will be building a massive hotel at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in the next few years, and that could help Busch Gardens become a true destination park. Busch Gardens is no doubt gonna get a ton of investment along with their hotel if Seaworld actually moves forward with the rumored project. That could propel Busch Gardens to become an even greater park than it already is. I don't think Seaworld is expecting what Kings Dominion has in the works though. It's almost like Kings Dominion has been sleeping for a decade and it's only now beginning to wake up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Six Flags help Kings Dominion successfully get into a full year operating calendar, and after that I wouldn't be surprised if a hotel is in the cards for this incredible park 5 to 10 years down the line. I don't think I would have expected Kings Dominion to be on such a great path 2 years ago, but a lot changes with this new Six Flags Cedar Fair merger and Six Flags America down the road. Cedar Fair did seem to have big plans for Kings Dominion prior to the merger though, as it's now been leaked that Kings Dominion will likely be getting a highly themed B&M Wing Coaster for 2025 to replace Volcano. B&M Wing Coasters are super high capacity roller coasters and they are very successful with the general public. The Wing Coaster is also a B&M model not found anywhere near this area of the country, so it will definitely bring in the crowds. Cedar Fair knew what they were doing with this park for a while, starting with that new beautifully themed area that came in 2022, all to be topped off by this perfect popular roller coaster in 2025. Busch Gardens also announced their new 2025 edition, and it's rather strange. They are getting an inverted B&M family coaster similar to Phoenix Rising, which is opening this year at Busch Gardens Tampa. It's rather odd that Busch Gardens canceled their 220-foot rumored RMC Hyper Hybrid for a B&M family coaster, and it's kind of funny to see Kings Dominion having the better new addition for once. Don't think Busch Gardens is going down without a fight though. I bet Seaworld has a major coaster plan for this park, likely coming in 2026 or 2027, and I think it'll be that RMC Hyper Hybrid. I also think Seaworld is working with B&M a lot, trying out some of their new coaster models, all to try and get a good deal on a massive B&M Giga Coaster for each of the Busch Gardens parks. The future of Kings Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg is getting crazier than ever before, and who knows what the next bunch of years will look like. The Six Flags and Cedar Fair merger definitely has a huge effect on the future of these parks, and these next few years will surely be interesting to watch. I have an entire video going through the winners and losers of the Six Flags merger, and it's probably the best video I've ever released on this channel. Click here to give it a watch, because you won't believe which parks will be winners and which will be losers.